Anyway, out of whom are present tonight, who had his ear-bleeding task of going through all those 1,000 tapes, coming up with the Magic 11 that are featured on the album. And we have awards for those 11 band members tonight, the 11 bands rather. But first, we have an award to present to the people who are going to benefit from this, hopefully a great deal, and that is the Kidney Foundation of Indiana. About the only thing that I have heard as far as the Kidney Foundation of Indiana is concerned during this project has been that the Kidney Foundation is going to receive the net proceeds. And we're very happy to donate that for a number of reasons. And we're going to ask one of the members from the Kidney Foundation, Billy Scott, to come up and give us a few reasons and just to let us know what the Kidney Foundation is all about in this state, what developments have happened recently, and hopefully what our money that we generate from this project will do. And if Billy is ready for that, she can come on up. Jim. This is Billy Scott from the Kidney Foundation, and this is the plaque. We've got plaques for everybody here, but this one is very special because these are the people that we're trying to help with this project. And although it's going to hopefully enhance a lot of musical careers here, we also hope to enhance futures of people that are burdened with the problems of bad kidneys and the rest of that. And I have one who's close to me. So, Billy?
John called me a few days ago and asked me to say a few words this evening to explain to you what the Kidney Foundation is all about, since you're all working so hard to raise the money to donate to us. I'm going to try to keep it brief, but I tell you it's hard because I don't get this opportunity very often, and I really am going to tell you tonight what the Kidney Foundation is all about, so please bear with me. Last year, there were 102 patients in Indiana who received a kidney transplant, which sounds pretty impressive, but not quite so impressive when you learn the fact that there are over 700 dialysis patients in the state, most of whom could receive a kidney transplant if the kidneys were available. The simple matter of the fact is that there are not enough kidneys available in the United States to perform the number of transplants that are necessary. So what we view as one of our number one needs is to provide what we call organ donor promotion. Last fall, our Council of Nephrology Social Workers, which is kind of an awesome title, but they sent a questionnaire to all of the patients in the state asking them, what were their most significant needs. As a result of that questionnaire, we've expanded our patient services program. I won't give you the list of services right now, but again, patient services is what the Kidney Foundation is all about. Back a few years, in 1973, Congress passed a bill which is referred to as H.R. 1. What H.R. 1 did was to enable or to entitle all end-stage renal patients to receive benefits under Medicare. In layman terms, that means that patients could finally afford to live because the cost of dialysis is exorbitant. What we find here is as health policy development that is being initiated by the National Kidney Foundation, and that's what the Kidney Foundation is about. I suppose I could go on all night, and I won't elaborate on them anymore. I'll just spell them out for you. Additional items which we find and list as our own goals, both at the state and at the national levels, are public education, professional education, and research into prevention, treatment, and eventual cure for kidney disease. So that really is what the Kidney Foundation is all about. Last fall, John called me and asked if the Kidney Foundation was interested in becoming involved in what he said was the Homegrown album project. It took him about 15 minutes to describe to me what this was all about, but I knew right then and there that we definitely wanted to be involved. We were excited then. We are far more excited now. we do stand to raise thousands of dollars. You know, John talks a lot about 10, and I kind of look up to that and think, oh my God, I hope it happens. But on top of all that, we have received a degree of exposure around the state to which it is impossible to affix a price tag. You can't possibly imagine how much we've benefited by that. And we've also had an opportunity to work with true professionals, and that means a lot to us because we're a small and struggling organization. At this time, to belabor a point, I want to salute the musicians in Neon Cornfield, particularly Greg Riker, who I'm sure you'll meet shortly, because I think I have a musician's ear, and in my opinion, what you have before you is an album that is both artistically and technically superb, and I mean that. It is excellent. I want to salute WFBQ. They have given us a tremendous amount of exposure around central Indiana. And I want to salute Karma Records, particularly John Vallant, whose own mother, he referred to just recently, is a kidney patient herself. She's on a dialysis machine. But all of these people, you know, it's been a great experience myself just working with them. In closing, you know, I don't like the word charity. I've never liked the word charity because it carries a connotation of begging. And I guarantee you, I am never going to beg anybody for anything. If I'm going to ask, I'm going to give something in return. And I hope you all feel that the Kidney Foundation in some way has done its part to make this project a success. You know, I feel that only good can come out of a partnership like the Homegrown Album Project. And I think you are all, and I mean all of you, to be congratulated, because that is what community spirit is all about. Thank you.
Okay. Since none of you actually contributed tonight, everyone got a free album. Your job is to get on the streets and sell the rest of them. We've got 5,000 sitting in the dock, and hopefully 5,000 more coming, and we want to sell them all and more. So enjoy yourself tonight and give a few thoughts to what Billy said, and let's get on to the celebration with these bands. We've got some plaques to award to them, and with that, let's get on to it. I'll do the first one. Okay, the first one here, side 2, cut 1. All right. This award goes to Airborne for the easiest band to work with. And if we can get all the guys from Airborne up here to accept the award. Hey. These guys, by the way, should be easy to work with. They're all pros. I hope you guys don't mind or have any royalty problems with this, but these guys are a potpourri of musicians from certain supergroups from Indiana that I'm sure you've heard of. Wright Brothers, Shiloh Morning, Dan Hanley Band. These guys formed Airborne, and they have been one of the hottest Indianapolis bands. We're happy to see them on the album and present the award here for the easiest to work with. Hey. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. You want to say something?
We're just very glad to be on the album, and we're glad we're one of the bands chosen for it. We count it an honor, and it's going to be real good for everybody involved. We'd like to thank Karma and Q95 and everybody else that was involved with it, especially Greg Riker. Thank you.
2 points at this time. Number one, them saying something sets a precedent. Every band member, prepare your notes. You will be asked to make a comment. Number two, this Greg Riker guy that everybody seems to be talking about. Unfortunately, Greg is not going to be able to be here tonight. Greg is working with our homegrown superstars, the Faith Band, on their next album project. And Greg, Greg's having a tough time now. He's going to be spending the next 5 weeks at the Lake Geneva Playboy Club at the recording studios there working on the album. So, it's just a real tough break, you know. The guy can't be here. But we'll try to carry on here. Okay, the next award we have is for Ms. Shelley Burchett. Her award is for the first vocal take. Now, once you hear the album and hear this lady's vocals, I think you're going to understand why, because they are not only, how we should say, professional enough to take it on the first try, but also very distinguishing and very good. And now you get to hear the voice.
Thank you. I'd like to thank the Kidney Foundation and WFBQ and Karma, Greg Galloway, Greg Riker, Mike Petro, and everybody else. Thanks a lot, everybody who helped me on the album, because I didn't have a band, and I just asked a lot of good friends, good studio musicians to come in and help me, and it really helped out. Thanks a lot.
Next. Next award goes to... All right. The next award goes to a quote-unquote Bloomington-based band, stream winner, Thomas and the boys, if they will come down. Now, you've seen these guys. I saw them for the first time out front of Sanford and Townsend here, which is a band of no ill repute. And neither is stream winner, I'll tell you. They played at our Fathers and Sons picnic, if I may say that, last summer. Very hot band, very tasty band. Here's Tom Borton. Tom, you get the award for the 1 E and Ah, or what I would refer to as the Lawrence Welk Award. These guys, for scrupulous timing in the above and beyond the call of production, we give you the 1 E and Ah Award. We're going to have Tom...
is spelled A-H, not U-H.
I've had so many uhs here tonight. What's one more? Okay, we're going to... Tom, you want to say a few words, or do you want to blow a saxophone? We all want to thank everybody for the open bar.
With this one member missing, our keyboard player, so we're not a 5-man band here. And thanks for the open bar.
Really, we'd like to thank the Kidney Foundation again and everybody involved. And Greg, I guess I'm not really sure what the award is. It says 1 E and we're counting 16th notes for everybody. I guess this is for quick production, and we thank everybody.
The next award is for The Late Show. And The Late Show couldn't be present tonight, but one of the things that was very nice about the whole project was that it got together, besides yielding 2 nice songs from 2 musical composts, I don't know, I'm lost for words, entities, whatever, was a melding of the 2. And one person who, to me, had a very nice song on the album is going to have the pleasure of working with The Late Show from now on and is going to accept the award, and that person is Steve Lester. Steve? Oh, by the way, The Late Show's, oh, this is great. The Late Show was lucky enough to win the dubious award of the Rosiest Palms. Now, this is a quite, yeah, it's a beautiful honor for these guys because they worked in production in achieving the perfect clap. And I think I'm going to let Steve work his way out of that.
Well, I could just add it. It is the perfect award for the band, and I'm accepting the award on behalf of The Late Show. And we talked it over beforehand about what kind of a speech I would make, and we wanted to be sure everybody has been thanked except John Vallon. We wanted to be sure to thank John, so let's thank him. And thank you.
All right. And you'll be back again, I'm sure. All right, man. Next award. The Homegrown Album Project 1 proudly presents Fuse. Can we have the members of Fuse up here for the Most Beer Consumed Award? I want to see that broken tonight. Let's get it up here. Spread them out, guys. All right. Now I can... Oh, good. Let's get a picture of that. These guys are playing tonight. They are leading off the Homegrown Lodo concerts. Come on now. And a few words from a chosen selected member here.
Well, I'm just going to thank everybody that everybody else has thanked. And just like to say that it's nice to have a captive audience to play for. Can't go anywhere. So just keep an open hearts and open minds, and let's rock and roll. Thank you.
Hello, next. Oh, God. Okay, the next award we have is for another band. And I believe this band also owns the honor of being the first out of the final 50 to be played at the judging, okay, which means nothing to you and means nothing to me either. Frank Haney and the Farmers obviously deserve the award for the highest yield. Frank, and don't bring your pitchfork up here either, man. All right, here they are. Wait a minute, Devo's tomorrow night, I think. The award, Frank, and a few words.
Well, if it hadn't been for the Treflan and the crayons, we never would have gotten through this. But I'd like to thank all the people involved with this, especially Greg Riker. And we're glad this could be going to a nice cause. So John, would you like to say something? This is the man who wrote the song.
Well, I just like to say thanks to everybody. Excuse me. And I hope it sells 1 million.
Happy trails and get plowed with the farmers.
Okay. I know they're here. Like I say, we had 1,017 entries which came in by the deadline. There are a few that came in after the deadline, or actually Monday, December 18th. This was one of them. These guys were nice enough and creative enough to come up with a theme for the Homegrown album. At this time, on location, if you would come up to accept your award. Now, these guys have the dubious award of the quickest session, which actually was no session at all. Their tape was impervious to any musical malfunctions, and there's your award, malfunction, and a few words.
Hey. First thing, this song could never have been in existence without Greg Riker playing Pepsi Can. So listen very carefully to the Pepsi Can by Greg Riker. Also, I'd like to thank the Cube Kangaroo and the lady who made those great sandwiches. Thank you.
All right. The next award goes to Side 1, Track 3, which goes to, I gotta say this. There are, and I hope I'm not making any enemies tonight, a few songs on this album that are particularly nice to me. One that I had the pleasure of hearing about 8 months before we even thought about this project. And I was real happy to see that it was on the album, and even more ecstatic to hear what Greg and Steve had done with this. And I'm talking about Steve Lester with his cut, We Take Care of Each Other. That is a beautiful song, ladies and gentlemen. Here's Steve Lester, a beautiful person, and a spa goer. The guy's healthy. Steve's award is for the most patient. And I got to consider a guy patient when he's sitting there babysitting and holding his child while he's singing harmony. So although the papoose is not strapped on right now, take it.
Thank you. Thank you. I would like to thank the people that played on my session. A few of who are around here. One of my background singers is there. That was it was a real neat experience for me. Sort of interesting to have this song show up on a record after being turned down by a number of publishers as a disappointment to me. We'd already discussed that. Anyway, thanks very much. Thanks very much for having the contest and the program, and I appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Well, man. All right. This guy is... And now I kind of disagree with the award he got here. Brad Smith, come on up here, Brad, now. I would say that Brad should deserve the most handsome award. Come on up here, Brad. But the Homegrown Album Project decided to give him the most inspired session award. And I'm not going to go into that anymore because we'd all be arrested, I think. Brad, a few words.
Thank you for the whistle back there. No, really, just thanks a million. Thanks to all the musicians that played on my song, because I, too, am a solo artist. And although soon to not be, if you come here March 14th, little plug city here, we're getting a band together, Shelley Burchett and myself, and I think you'll enjoy it. So come out then. Thanks to Kidney Foundation, to Johnny V, and while I'm up here, a couple guys that haven't been mentioned, Mike Petro and Greg Galloway. Great engineers. Thank you.
First of all, a little attention to the Homegrown album cover, displayed so prominently. That was done by a gentleman named Bob Rohr, with the help and coordination of Bill Brunt, who put the mechanics together on it. And this was also, again, a contest that we had, whether you know or not, hopefully you do, with the solicitation for the tapes, also solicitation for art projects. And I think there's a few people from the station when we sat down to judge these things. There were about 100 entries, 30 that came from a particular, which I will remain unnamed, high school. No, I'm sorry, grade school. And I mean, I can see the teacher now going, okay, class, today we will do the Homegrown Album Project. At any rate, carrying on here with great vigor. Carol Sue Hill, if you'll come up, Carol. Carol's award is for the best prepared. She fed everybody at the session. Sandwiches, drinks, and again, any other unmentionables that might keep us out of jail. And Carol will also be catering next year's affair here at the Vogue for the food and all that. Carol.
Thanks, John. Thanks. I just want to thank Conrad, who plays great guitar. Steve Dawkin, where are you? And Toby and Mike Reed from Roadmaster. And Michael. Thanks, Michael. And Greg Galloway, Mike Petro, and Greg Riker. Thanks.
This is the last one. Okay. Is this the last of the bands? Okay. This is the last of the bands, and ironically but true, the first, as far as the judging goes, received the highest number of votes from the tape that they sent in entitled Hot Days, Cool Nights. This Bodacious Band. Come on up. They're playing for you tonight. Okay. These guys have the Best Attitude Award. I don't know why, man, because they were all sons of... To expound on their best attitudes, we have one of the members of the band here.
Thank you very much. On behalf of the Bodacious Band, let's rock and roll tonight. Have a good time. Thank you very much. We'd like to thank the Kidney Foundation and everybody involved, FBQ, Karma, Neon Cornfield, and we wish Greg Riker was here.
And also John. And we want to tell everybody this is a dream come true for us because we're just a bunch of hicks from the sticks. And this is amazing. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, on to the heavies. There are three entities that, without their support, this thing would have never happened, no doubt. The first of which is Neon Cornfield. And Neon Cornfield, this project has been done other places in other towns, but this is the first time where we have taken bands into a studio, given them the production time to lay it down, to do it down right, to give the album a consistent sound, and we're talking about some heavy money. Production time does not come cheap. If Mike Wolf is around here, we'd like to have him come down and accept the award for Neon Cornfield. And let's hear it for these guys, really. You got to say a few words here.
I do. Thank you. Without Riker, Galloway, and Petro, I'm the proud owner of Sticks, Wires, and Glass. Thank you, folks. Thank you very much.
Who is this Riker? I don't know about this guy. Next, we have the award that is going to WFBQ Radio. And if I may say a few personal comments about these guys, it's not the Homegrown album project that has marked their cooperation or their efforts in this town in establishing a community-oriented radio station that is serving up some damn good rock and roll. To take the award, we have the most distinguished, and I will say it again because I hope this term is coined, the dreaded Morning Owen, Jim Owen from WFBQ Radio.
Well, thanks, John. Having seen your performance here, we've decided to offer you a part-time job, so I don't have to do no more 2 shifts in a day. Basically, I caught the tail end of this project. The last 3 months is what I've been involved in, but you catch the flavor of it very quickly with what's happening here. There are, as John mentioned, a lot of homegrown albums out there. It's a popular project. It does well every place that it's run, and it does well for the community, but this one sounds damn good. As a matter of fact, this album sounds better than any other homegrown album I've ever heard. Turn on your radio, man. Starting tonight, you'll hear yourselves on the air. That's the trick to this thing. Our part of this thing really starts right now. The thing is to take all that music that's been put out and support it and get behind it. Now, all of you have a part in that in making sure this sucker sells, but we have a part in that in making sure that everybody hears it, even if they don't buy one. And we intend to do that because there's a lot of talent out there. So we hope something happens. Good thing for a radio station is to support a strong local music community. So let's keep it strong.
Thank you, Jim. Okay, the final award we have to give tonight, and it's about time because I hope we have several hundred people waiting to get inside. By the way, the music's going to start about 9:30. You've been stamped. You have been stamped. If you wish to leave to go out and buy something to eat or get something to hold you over, you can get back in on the stamp that you can't see, but they can see up there. So feel free to go out and catch the 9:30 show. The last and final award is going to be given to Karma Records. And I work with these people, and I understand the opportunities that they have afforded for projects like this. And I'm not talking about Homegrowns either. As I speak about WFBQ's cooperation in this, I think Karma and WFBQ have formed a rather unique and very nice relationship, one we hope to keep and hope to yield many more homegrown albums and many more Halloween parties if you went down to that fiasco, and many other promotions that, whatever you can think of. To accept the award for Karma Records, we've got Randy Scott. And Randy, if you're here, come on down and make me look short. Too tall, Scott here. Looking good, brother. All right.
I'd like to just briefly thank the people that made this idea become a reality. All the artists on the album, those that turned in tapes and even didn't make it. Greg Riker and the guys at Neon Cornfield, Jim Owen and the guys at Q95, Billy Scott and the Kidney Foundation, and most of all, the executive producer of the album and the coordinator of the project from top to bottom, start to finish, Mr. John Valent. Thank you very much, John.
Moon River. Hey, that was my shot, okay. Okay. This whole award ceremony has been very nice, and I hope it was at least a piece of the appreciation that we're feeling for these bands. And I'll say that again because I mean it. I hope it serves to fill just a piece of the appreciation that we feel for these bands, for WFBQ, for Neon Cornfield, and for God's sakes, for the Kidney Foundation, who believed in this thing from the start. I mean, you get a bunch of crazy people from the record business calling you up, and what are you going to think? But these people had faith from step one, and we thank them most of all. And we hope to thank them most of all with a lot of money. Again, most of all, what this little awards presentation hopefully did was to sway you from the open bar and the eats, because you're killing us. Go up and have another drink. We're getting ready to open it up for the public. And let's rock and roll tonight, and thank you very much.